All right, you motherfuckers. We are back with another side episode.
Yes,
We're
sir.
talking about the one.
2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody's in the car, so come on, let's ride.
Oh my god. How old is this guy? I
Yeah,
don't.
old enough to know that song.
Woo. I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Peace.
Can we please keep people stuck together? I'm tired of seeing people breaking up in pieces. Makes no sense.
That was a lot. I don't even think I could follow that.
I just thought the world should know.
It was just a bunch of and then like someone with a lot of pieces.
Yeah, I don't hear people complaining about you calling them beautiful 2 weeks ago, cute last week,
What's
and
wrong
this
with
week
that?
you didn't call them anything. So,
What's
is our
wrong?
crowd progressively getting uglier? Is that what you're
No.
saying?
No, no,
I'm
it's not
pretty
what I'm
sure
saying.
that's what he's saying about you guys.
It's
He's
not what
saying
I'm saying.
progressively, the longer we're on here, the uglier our crowd gets.
I
And
have
honestly,
never
I think
said
he's
that.
playing a game of numbers here. We're gonna have
Oh,
more
so now
people
I'm Gojo.
watching, so
Now
now
I'm
he
Gojo.
expects more people.
Now I
Yeah.
just see numbers.
Yep, he sees negative
I'm
numbers
fucking
left and right.
Neo. I'm fucking Neo. I'm in
Oh,
the
that's right.
Matrix.
Yeah, you compared him to to Neo. I forgot about that.
I'm I'm in the Matrix. I see numbers.
Yeah, but today, guys, we're gonna touch on the One Piece live action. We're gonna do 2 episodes at a time. It should be a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Blackie Chan over here has not seen any of the anime.
None of it.
All right, and I've seen a lot of the anime. Like
A lot of it.
like most people, I'm not all the way caught up.
Of course you're not.
And I actually had the debate when I heard the live action was coming. I was like, should I revert, go back and rewatch to where I think the anime is getting to, or where the live action is going to get to? And
Uh-huh.
I decided that would be a huge waste of time considering how many episodes there are. So I was like, I'm just going to ride with the memory on this one.
Right. You no recollection at all, just other
Yeah.
than, you know what? Fuck it. We'll see. We'll see what I remember. We'll see what I don't. That's gonna be the interesting dynamic, right? Again, I've never seen
Yeah. He's never
any of the
seen any.
anime other than the multiple punches.
Yeah.
I've
You've
seen a
seen
scene.
clips and stuff,
I've
right?
seen a clip of him doing that.
Yeah.
I did not know it was about pirates. I did not know what the
That's
plot was
wild.
about. Like, literally, I
Hmm.
swear on my fucking life, I did not know shit about this anime other than he was a weird looking kid looking dude. Like, he looked like a teenager from all the clips I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any recent clip. This is all original One Piece clips. And that's the best I can describe it. I don't know how else I can fucking describe that.
Yeah, so we're
But
we're 2 episodes in right now, right? So what do
yeah.
you think is never having watched One Piece, but I mean, you know it's popular, you're somewhat familiar with it, because it's I think it's hard to be in the anime space and not at least be somewhat familiar with One Piece.
Yeah.
But what are your, like, overall thoughts on those first couple of episodes?
That it was
Like,
oh,
did it
it
make you
was it's more it made sense to me as to why they made it a live action,
why do you say that?
because it was more of a realistic standpoint. Like, a
Okay,
lot of animes
have a lot going on.
have a lot of, like, fantasy
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah.
on, whereas this one has a lot of real setting
Yeah,
aspects.
okay, I see what you're saying.
It very, very much so, like, past time, obviously, when swords and
Right,
shit and, like, muskets and shit like that were around. It felt like it was that time period and with extra ability, right? Of course, there's always gonna be some sort of fucking fantasy type ability
right.
that characters have, but it felt like it was the most realistic, even though I've never even seen it in the anime form.
Yeah, but like so I mean, like I said, we're only 2 episodes in. I know I didn't watch ahead. I want to make sure I'm only watching what we cover. So that
Yeah,
way I don't think ahead, if that makes sense. I want to
yeah.
be able to watch and then react to it.
I have
Um
watched 1 episode past it. So I've
okay.
watched 3 total.
Yeah.
2 of them I've really watched.
But yeah, so after watching it, are you like I want to go watch the anime now? Is it
Yeah.
like triggered that for you?
Yes, because again, I think the biggest selling point was that it felt like it was the most realistic.
Yeah. So what do you think of
Like,
like so because when it starts off, right? It starts off. I can't remember if it starts off in the flashback or if it just starts off with him like getting. I think it starts off with him getting ready to like get to the barrel to get on Alvida's boat, right?
yeah.
What'd you think of Alvida?
I
That
thought
big
Alvida
bitch.
was was a big bitch.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Like, she was just a big asshole. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she runs her ship and she's a fucking dick, and people fear her, but they respect her in a way,
Right.
and she's just an ass. That's what
Right.
I thought.
Yeah, I mean, she's not really she doesn't end up being like a big main character, but she does
Right.
come back a couple of times if I recall. I know for sure
Okay.
once. I can't remember if she comes back a third or a fourth time. But I'm interested to see when she comes back and they show her again if they're going to get a new person to play her. For those of you guys who watch the anime, I think you understand why I'm asking that. But I'm not sure if
Right.
they're going to get
Now
someone new to play her when she comes back or what. But
now one of the biggest things, and I'm sorry to backtrack because I know you're at
yeah.
Alvida, but my biggest question is you've seen a like good portion of it, probably
Yeah.
about half of One Piece, about
Yeah, right around
maybe
that.
a little bit less. What, as a fucking person who's seen that much,
Mhm.
were you on it in that first 20 minutes to that
What do you mean by
first
on it?
episode?
Like
Were you like, okay, this has a chance? Or were you in
oh,
the
okay.
first 20 minutes like, man, this ain't even close?
You know, in that first section, I actually was feeling it. I actually was feeling it. I was like, okay, so like, because obviously the structure's got to be different because it's a live action show, and like I've already mentioned, I don't know, you've watched my reaction video where like
Right.
I talk about which arc they get to and how
Yes.
far they get, and I was like, I wonder how they're gonna adapt that because there's no way you should get there in 8 episodes.
Right.
Um, So with the main bad guy at the end that they show in the trailers and stuff.
That's
So I was
definitely something.
so I was a bit worried about that because
You're
I was
worried
like,
about the plot points, right?
yeah, I was a little worried about that. Plot points, ding.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit that bell on you.
And again, hey, his reaction video is good. He goes more in depth about
Yeah,
why he wants it in that reaction. We'll have that in the description.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, and so like I would say the first 30 minutes I was in it. I was like, oh shit, okay. Like I I was vibing with it, if that makes sense. You know,
Right.
like when you hear that song, you're just like,
But it's a big moment, right? We're talking
yeah, I'm
like
vibing.
you're vibing with it.
Yeah, I was
And
watching it like this the whole time. I was like, "Ooh,
and
daddy
and you
like."
hear that beat in the background and it
Yeah.
just starts to build. And
Yep.
don't
And in
don't. But
celebration of Luffy, they were Brazilian drums.
right. Brazilian
Thick
flex.
ass accent.
Yes. Amazing. I like the character aspect. I don't know the anime comparison,
Mhm.
but I do like it. And so you're in on it. You enjoyed it from a anime perspective.
Yes.
What else stood out in terms of
In the
what, like,
couple episodes?
yeah, in that first episode, like what
Oh, in the
really
first
else stood
episode?
out
Um,
other than the plot point?
honestly, ding. Honestly, it was Luffy's personality.
Okay,
So
that was a
I think that beginning kind of builds up, especially in the
okay.
anime. Like you meet a lot of characters who eventually might come back, might not. Uh,
Yeah,
but it builds up his personality and makes you understand him as a person. At
right,
least in those first, like, I would say maybe 4 or 5 arcs, like,
right.
it's like, "Okay, this is who he is, this is who he is," and he's growing, he's growing, he's growing, but you get a good idea of who he is, and I think they did a really good job of that in the first episode of, like especially the actor kid who I think I've mentioned to you, he grew on me. I didn't like him
Yeah,
at first, and he grew on me. I was like, "This guy
yeah.
might be able to pull it off. I don't think this is an act. I think this is who he is."
Yeah, because you mentioned that multiple times over and over again as we've been talking
Mhm.
about it. You've always said, "I need Luffy to be Luffy's personality."
Yeah.
That was a big catch for you. If it didn't feel like a good Luffy, it probably would have fell apart for you. Am I wrong?
No, 100% because you gotta understand in the anime and they did a good job of this in the show. over all the episodes, or at least the first two in the live action,
Right.
which
Mhm.
is he grabs all these different personalities, different kinds of personalities. And like you saw, Zoro was a pirate hunter, right? We saw that
Yes.
in the first episode that he was a pirate hunter. He was essentially a bounty
Right.
hunter who
Which
sold
I took
was
more
on.
for a bounty hunter,
Yeah,
right?
that's what it
Like,
is. He's a
and that's that key
bounty
switch
hunter that's specifically hits pirates bounties.
because they have the biggest bounties, right?
Right. Exactly.
But what you find out quick is that Zoro has a moral code,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Where he's like, "Yeah, I'll kill a fucking pirate because they are worth a lot of money, and normally pirates are fucking bad.
Yeah.
So
So
why
it's
not have
why
that
not?
perspective on
Yeah.
pirate?" Which I thought they displayed very well because that's what I picked up on.
Right.
As seeing Zoro, it's a motherfucker who's obviously a swordsmith, and he obviously doesn't like pirates, but his normal perspective and everybody else's perspective on pirates is these dudes are fucking assholes.
Yeah, and the whole thing about him and his personality and why it's so important is because, like, you saw Zoro and his different personality, like, he doesn't fit the pirate mold in your head. And then you meet
Yeah.
Nami, and you even see, like, she's a
She
thief.
has some pirate aspects.
She does, but she's a thief, right? And
Yes.
then even at the end of episode 2, she makes that call and she's like, "Hey, I got the map." And she ain't
Right.
Dora. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
this bitch
Like
ain't Dora. She shouldn't have no map. There's the map.
right.
There's the map. There's the map.
Well, and that's crazy because again, Nami has the
You
most.
better look at me. It's the map.
You really had to do that,
I
didn't
did.
you?
It's the map, baby.
Oh my lord. It's because he's fucking Brazilian. That's
Yes,
why.
sir. Hey, it's what I do, baby boo.
Dora. That's how that's how he's promoting the One
Yeah,
Piece. But
go ahead.
yeah, so Nami to me, Zoro had the whole like I'm just morally sound
Right,
and I'll kill some motherfuckers who are bad for some money.
right.
Whereas Nami struck me from not having seen any of the anime as I have pirate qualities, quite literally. Like I'm about
Yeah,
that life in terms of a pirate, but I'll only do it to pirates. Whereas pirates will do it to anybody.
right.
So she
Okay.
has that moral block where she'll be like,
Yeah.
I am a pirate, low key,
Yep.
but I have that block where I'm not just gonna fucking do it to anybody.
Right. And the whole reason Luffy and his personality is so important is because not all those people should be pirates and not all of them should mold together. And you'll see as he brings more people on the crew, you're like,
Uh-huh.
how does this work? And it's because they buy into him and who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And there's like, he's like the big glue because it was like he's the perfect choice for a captain because of the way he is. Like he people will gravitate to him.
And he
And
molds to each person is what it feels like.
I wouldn't say he does.
'Cause he was different
And
in my opinion to Nami than he was to
right.
Zoro
See, I would say
in the live action.
it's more like a respect. So they mold to him. Like they respect him so much. They mold over to him. Like you saw
Okay.
in season 2, right? Or at season 2, episode 2. Remember when he saves everybody from Buggy and he
Mhm.
goes into the tent and he's letting everybody go?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be letting us go." And he's like, "I thought you were a pirate. You shouldn't be letting us go." And he's like, "I'm not that kind of pirate."
Yeah.
And so, like, all these people, you start to see these things about him, and you see the code that he has, and he's so respected for it. They all kind of mold to him, and he's kind of what holds. He's the perfect captain for what he ends up doing, and so his personality is key. So if his
Right.
personality isn't nailed down, then the show's gonna be trash. If he's not believable as that kind of
Right.
person, then the whole
Uh-huh.
show goes out the water. It doesn't matter how good anybody else is.
Right. No, I can definitely see how you see it as people molding to him.
Yeah.
Um the only way I see it is
Right, and it's
he
interesting because
right.
you've only seen these episodes of the live action, so go ahead.
Exactly. I see it as the people he's molding to each person based on their perspective. So like Nami has a different perspective on pirates than I think uh
Mhm, that's true.
Zoro has.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
it's they both obviously dislike him. Yeah, you can be fucking blank and black and white like that,
Right.
but it's a different type of dislike is what I'm
I
trying to
agree.
say.
Yeah, that's actually a good
And
pickup. I
and
would agree with that.
and he notices it, which is what I like about Luffy is he'll notice your disdain and then prove that disdain wrong.
Right. And then they did a good job too of like Shanks being his idol and the person in the
Yes.
two flashbacks. What'd you think of
Yes.
Shanks?
One of the best mentors. Like he's on level of Tanjiro's mentor in Orokodaki. He's
Okay.
on All Might level in terms of mentor. Always kind of staying on that. But I would say more so All Might than anybody. That's a really good comparison in terms of their perspective on life and their moral code that they will not back down from.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And they still have bad aspects to them, but it's more of I mean, I wouldn't say that too because All Might is more on the good side.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh
so not as great of a
yeah,
comparison,
because
but you know what I
Shanks
mean,
is in there unaliving people and shit.
right?
Yeah.
Shanks is actually like
He's that dude.
right, like he'll
He's
fuck
still a
some
pirate.
motherfuckers up, right?
Yeah. Like, above all, he's still a motherfucking pirate. Yeah, the
Yeah,
only thing I wish, and I
yeah,
hope I just didn't miss it, and so you could tell me if they said it or not, is there's something that I thought was impactful that was said in the anime that wasn't said in those first 2 episodes. And that do you
uh-huh.
remember the shootout scene where the bandits come to the thing,
Yes,
and
and
he
then
does the
Usopp, he's
he
doing his shit.
yeah, and he does the fingers and does that,
Yes,
and then the guy gets shot. Shanks does that. The
yes,
guys get shot and
yeah,
they start brawling out.
hmm,
So what happens in the anime is they put a gun to Shanks,
uh-huh.
and he's looking at him. He goes, "Guns aren't used for threats." And the guy looks at him and goes, "Guns are for action." And then boom, dude gets shot then and there by the guy with the fucking chicken leg.
That would have been sick,
And you didn't like see him before; he was out of screen. He
right?
says guns are for action. And then you just see boom.
And
And
then
then it
shit
pans
pops.
over to him. And he's
Uh-huh.
just sitting there eating his fucking chicken leg. And he's putting the gun down. And then someone else comes in, doom, doom, doom. But I wish,
Damn.
like, that line was cold to me. And I wish they
Yeah.
had left that one line in there just because, like, I'm 500 episodes in and I still remember that one line. And that was like in the first or second episode.
Right. And I think that's a key point too, is like
Ding.
when when you're watching a show that you love, if I watch DBZ, I
Hmm.
would want to see Piccolo versus Kid Goku. You know,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
watching
I got
or
you.
Dragon Ball, I should say,
Yeah.
not Dragon Ball
I know
Z.
what you mean.
Like there's certain moments that you
Hmm.
don't forget in an anime that are fucking plot oriented to the key,
Yeah.
but just hit different. And that's what you're mentioning is that point.
Yeah.
What about the devil fruit? So the devil fruit too was a key thing where I had no idea that was how he got his ability. Because that's one
Gotcha.
thing I was looking for. So I don't know the anime at all. And
Right.
in any anime I watch, because we mainly watch fighting animes,
Hmm.
is what how did they get their ability and what is their ability?
Yeah, because you already
Because
knew he did the stretchy arms thing. You just didn't
yes,
know if that was like a rule
if
of the world or
or
if he
if
gained it or trained it or whatever.
yeah, or if that's he's Mr. Elastic, like
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, right? Where
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
actually has the rubber oriented shit, or is it just that was a fucking mode that he can enter in, where it's
Yeah.
just him throwing those massive amounts of punches? I
Gotcha.
never saw the Gamu Gamu fucking I never
Yep.
saw the one punch oriented shit. I've only seen the do, 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 do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Um
gauntlet.
so that was interesting for me to see where I'm like, he
Mhm.
eats the fruit, and then they also mentioned in episode 2, the very beginning, which I love, because I was wondering
Yeah.
what's the backside to that shit?
Yeah.
Because he was upset when Shanks grabbed him. He was like, "What have you done?" And obviously, he could tell he ate that fruit. What are the side effects? And they explain that the side effects are
You can't swim
fucking
anymore.
right. The ocean
Yeah.
will kill you.
Yeah, so it's interesting because so in the anime, um, he talks about, in that scene, the first episode where he's talking about wanting to be a pirate and all that shit,
Yeah.
that happens in the anime. And
Uh-huh.
they made a point to mention Shanks tells him, he goes, "Yeah, Luffy, I know you're a strong swimmer and everything, but," he's like, "but you there's more to strong swimming than being a pirate, you know?"
Yeah.
And I always thought that was weird. I was like, "Why is he bringing up that he's a strong swimmer? What does that have to do with being a pirate and merkin niggas and shit?"
Right. Like you
And
would think
then
anybody who could
yeah,
swim.
and I remember I just tossed it to the side, and then when he ate the devil fruit, Shanks was the one, if I recall right, Shanks was the one who told him in the anime, 'cau when he was yelling at him. So he's like, "What the fuck did you do, you dumb motherfucker?" He's like, "Do you
Uh,
realize what you've done? You can't swim anymore." He's like, "Devil fruits, they give you these forbidden powers, but this is another one where it's like a word choice difference, and I like the anime words
oh,
because they
yeah.
say the sea, the ocean, like they talk about the fruit, and he goes, "What happens when you eat these fruit is the ocean rejects you. So because you're taking one of these forbidden fruits, the ocean
Right.
now rejects you, so it
Yeah.
won't let you swim. You can't swim anymore because the ocean is rejecting you." And
Right.
I like that more than
Yeah,
than the ocean,
you
like,
can't swim.
you just can't swim. I like it's more powerful that way.
Yeah, because they really downplayed it in terms of they just pretty much said, "Hey, you can't swim anymore,"
Yeah.
which was a key point, like
Ding.
a key moment, because as a pirate, you're out at sea
Yeah. It's
all the
huge.
time.
Yeah, it's
So
huge.
if you ever get hit overboard, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's a big thing with when they're fighting because you meet more people with devil fruits as the show goes on, and more comes from it, and you learn about people and stuff like that, and how they ended
So
up with
there's
devil
more
fruits
that
and
they
shit.
add to it.
Yeah, there's a ton of devil fruits, and then there's levels to the devil's fruit. There's so much to it; it'll make your head spin. And I
Okay,
can't
cool.
talk more about it because you'll learn more.
Right. No, that's cool to see because I knew that there was gonna be more. I just
Yeah.
hope that they obviously explain more.
Yeah, because then
But
you also
yeah,
met Kobe. What'd you think of Kobe?
I thought he was a bitch.
Yeah,
Um,
they
I thought
portrayed that pretty well.
yes, I thought
It's
he was a
pretty much the
bitch,
same in the anime. The little
and
bitch boy.
even the son of the Marine dude.
Oh, butt chin.
Yeah,
Yeah, fucking Jaw. Or
yeah.
the Jaw's the dad.
Yeah,
I don't know why I
that
can't think of
dude
his name
if
right
that
now.
dude was a fucking dude you wanted to
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
into the ground, they made that fucking perfect because I all I wanted to do while seeing that dude every
yeah,
he played that shit perfectly.
yeah.
If he was supposed to be that annoying and that much like of a spoiled little brat, man, they did it perfect.
Yeah, they did a good job with the son, and then they did a good job with Kobe as well and portraying them.
Okay. So that's how they are in the anime.
Yeah. Yeah, and even the captain that shows up, I can't think of his name
Yeah,
either.
the fucking
Yeah. Who's like, "You little bitch, you let him go? You let him get the map,
yeah,
motherfucker?
yeah,
You think you're a dude? You
yeah.
let them get the map?"
And did Zoro
And
really
then
give
Dora popped
himself
in and
up?
said, "Where's the map?"
Can you say map?
Backpack, backpack,
Yeah,
hey,
alright.
backpack, backpack,
Yeah,
backpack.
no, no, I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
All right.
Uh, but did Zoro really give himself up to that Marine dude,
Mhm, mhm.
and he was really hanged for
Oh
7
yeah,
days?
oh yeah.
How many days did he
So,
last before he got freed?
he wasn't there very long. I think it was one.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
They made it seem like it
I
was the
think
same day on the live
Yeah, it
action.
yeah, it's about.
It
It
felt like
was
it was the
like that
same
night.
day.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was that night, but it was about a day. But yeah, and even in
right.
that, they changed that up a little bit, and it didn't really affect too much. But
Uh-huh.
like Zoro, you know how he was like, "No matter what happens, I reject you." It's my like,
Yeah,
I don't want to be a pirate. He's like, "What if I
yeah.
let you go?" He's like, "I don't want to be a fucking pirate."
Yeah, I don't owe
Um,
you shit
yeah,
kinda thing.
that's it wasn't like that in the anime, if I recall. Like I said, I haven't gone back and visit, so this is all based on memory. So if I'm wrong, comment below and tell me I'm an idiot.
Tell him
Uh,
he's a fuckface.
yeah, but I prefer not fuckface.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
prefer
me.
idiot, not
Idiot's
fuckface, but
fine. I think that gets the point across. Everybody knows what you're
say, "I
saying.
don't like you."
Big fan of that. But yeah, so Zoro, like he's hanging up
In the
there.
anime.
Yeah, in the anime, he's hanging up there, and Luffy's like, "I'm gonna set you free." He's like, "Yeah, fucking how?" He's like, "We're on a marine base. You're not gonna do shit." And he's like, "Nah, I saw you protect the girl. Like, I'm gonna set you free, and you're gonna join my crew. You're exactly who I want." And he just kind of laughed and he's like, "All right, you know what? If you set me free, I'll join your crew."
Oh, so
So
that's how it was in the anime.
yeah,
So it was like a, all right, dude, if you can actually do that shit.
yeah, but it was like a sarcastic because he didn't expect him to.
No, of course.
Yeah,
Of course. He wouldn't have made the deal had he expected him to do it.
right.
So he didn't, and at that time he didn't know he was stretchy man.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
so he sets him free doing what he does. That first duo moment, I don't know if that was a cool moment for you. It was a actually trio moment because Nami was there in the live action where they start going ham on motherfuckers. He pulls the shit out, the treasure out, the map
Hmm.
out. They fall, they land, they start throwing blows. Then
Yeah,
you see the duo action between Zoro and him. Was that
yeah.
as cool as the anime?
Yeah, I mean, the anime is gonna be cooler because 'cause they're all kind of,
Of course, it's always gonna be
it's
cooler,
all animated, so they have a little more freedom with what they can do
right?
there.
A little bit,
Just a
a
little
little
bit.
bit.
But, yeah, that was really good.
What
I
did you
mean,
think as a
it was
person who's seen it?
I thought it was fine. Like, I was like, "That's about as good as you can do in the live action." I would still take the anime
It's
fight.
not Avatar level.
Oh, good
It's
lord.
not
Yeah,
M
they
Night
weren't dancing,
Shyamalama.
so that was cool. Fuck you, M. Night Shyamalan. Piece of shit.
All right, yeah, yeah.
Don't worry, guys. You won't hear what I said because that'll be bleeped for sure.
Uh,
That was really upsetting.
we're not even gonna mention that either. We're
Yeah,
gonna
and that was
bleep
your
that
fault.
shit.
That was your
See?
fault for bringing it up. So that
Blame
one's on
me.
you.
Blame me.
Yeah,
My bad, y'all. My
but
bad, M Night.
yeah, I mean, but like comparatively,
Comparison.
they weren't. It was fine. Um, the
Uh-huh.
the the fight that wasn't as good comparatively is the buggy fight.
Okay,
So
what did you
that
think of that?
fight went on a little bit longer.
Then the big marine boss dude.
Yeah, it went on longer. And when he was fighting Buggy, and not only that, but you got to see a little more Zoro action. You get to see a little bit of the town fighting as well.
Uh-huh.
And they play a big factor in that fight too, because they want
Right.
their town back from Buggy. So, like, I understand why they kind of streamline that because
Yeah.
it's not necessary to have all that. But I think that one I definitely prefer the anime to the Buggy
Okay.
fight.
Yeah, it definitely like obviously you see him fight first in the Avira fight,
Avita.
but Avita,
Yeah.
my bad, Avita fight. But it was crazy to see that he can take a bullet and then shoot it back. So he was
Yeah.
quite literally like Mr. Fantastic from
Yeah, I
Fantastic
will add,
Four
I'm not gonna obviously I'm very good about giving you information and not
and
spoiling
not
anything.
ruining everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very good at that actually, oddly enough. But I
Yeah.
will say it doesn't take long for people to figure out the weakness.
Okay.
Like, when people
Yeah.
in animes, they're
Well,
like,
and
what's this guy's weakness? How do I beat him? Like, they all come at him pretty quick with that.
yeah, now one thing that they portrayed really well was that Luffy had a confidence of nobody's even ever fucked with my ability. And when in the anime or I'm sorry, in the live action, when he went up against the marine guy
Hmm.
and he threw that punch and the dude caught it and just grabbed him and threw him,
Yeah.
when it felt like when he went like this, it felt like he really was like, holy
Oh
shit,
shit.
nobody's ever grabbed this
This
shit
nigga just
before.
grabbed my hand.
Right.
This
Now,
nigga
did they do
dapped
it?
me up when I threw a punch.
Did they do a good job in the anime of like that being the first like, oh shit, people could fuck me up moment?
I
Or did
honestly like
was
I
it
don't
like
think
a
so. I don't think so. I think
okay,
it was just like a more of a reaction to
he
him
got
not
me?
yeah, to him
Not like
getting him.
a this
Like he
I'm
figured it
actually
out.
beatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
wasn't like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'll keep that in mind.
not only that, but I don't think that thought fits his personality in fights, which
Right.
hopefully they portray
No.
later on.
Right. And I was about to say, I mean, even after you see that in his face where the dude caught his punch
Mhm.
and he throws him in live action, which I thought he did a good job of being like, oh shit, he caught my shit.
Yep.
He did a great job of I don't give a fuck, like I'm going right back into fighting again. Like, I'm just gonna do something different. I'm not gonna throw that same exact
Yeah,
punch at you
absolutely,
twice. So
absolutely.
they did do a good job of like him not being a bitch and going into bitch
Right.
mode of like, oh no, what am I gonna do now? Because he caught my gamu gamu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So uh that was cool. But I was just wondering from your
Yeah,
perspective,
absolutely. But yeah, it's like I said, I can't say that, but he's definitely like that's him being shocked if someone caught it. That's not his personality.
okay.
That's
So
kind of what I'll say. That's not him. So even if
okay.
he did portray it good, which is cool for the live action, as long as that's not consistent, I'll ride with it. And I mean, that wasn't something I caught even. So
I don't know. I see it probably being consistent. You know what I
I
mean?
I hope
Like
not.
for the drama.
I freaking hope
Because
not, because that's a
like I
big
think
part
in
of who he is.
because that's something with Goku too. The only time you see with Goku, and I know this is fucking obviously out of pocket from what we're talking about,
Right.
but if I saw a Dragon Ball Z portrayal, the only time I've ever seen Goku go, "Oh fuck," was when Frieza started doing shit,
Right.
right? When he
Yeah.
started really like taking people's lives,
Absolutely.
and he was like that's where you felt like that moment.
Mhm.
Whereas any other moment, he was always even kill. Don't matter what was going on. He could be getting his ass kicked. He was even kill.
Yeah.
And you're saying Luffy never has ever shown that, or does he show
Um,
that
he
later
sh
on?
he shows it at certain times, but it's
Is
not
it
who he is. It's not a normal thing.
okay?
Um,
So
yeah.
similar to Goku in terms of he's always on point
He's always
emotionally.
I don't think it's that necessarily. I get what you're saying, and you're not wrong, but it's I would say it's different. So it is Goku to where he's not like, "Oh my god," he never questions his abilities. So he's like
Right.
Goku in that regard, but
Uh-huh.
how he goes about getting into fights and how he gets in fights is different from Goku.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I'll leave that. But we're right
Okay.
at 30 minutes. So you got any final thoughts on the first two episodes so far? Anything you're excited to see in the next
I
two when we cover them next
yeah,
week?
I want to see the more powerful bosses. Like I want to see Luffy getting
Okay.
his ass kicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll
Like
definitely see that.
there's a big key to a main character getting his ass kicked and then figures shit out.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest anime staples for fighting anime, shonen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to see every time. I
Dope.
want to see somebody get their ass kicked and figure
Yeah.
out. And live action is gonna be sick if it happens.
Yeah, I'd like to see because I think those first two episodes, I think they stayed pretty true to the first few the beginning of One Piece. And I
Hmm.
know they're gonna start speeding it up here soon. Because those two, I was like, okay, that's pretty much all that first part of One Piece. I was like, all right, now they're really gonna have to get where they're going to the main bad guy. Like they're gonna have to really speed it up in these next few episodes. So I'm
Right.
interested to see what they speed up where we get to and where all that's gonna go. And so that's
Uh-huh.
what I'm looking forward to seeing is how they adapt it because I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Okay.
I've heard a
Like
whole bunch of people
everybody's
say,
willing to watch it through.
yeah,
What
and
like it or love it, or I'm sorry, like
yeah,
it or hate it,
and after these
watch it
first
through.
two episodes, I gotta say, like, I'm entertained. I don't know if it's gonna end up being good or bad. I can say I'm
But you are
entertained.
so far
I'm
entertained.
enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
2 episodes
So
in.
yeah, so I'm really excited for these next two episodes. But other than
Cool.
that, I think that about sums it up.
Yes,
Guys, we appreciate
appreciate the
you.
support.
You guys are really helping us
This is a
out.
big and this is a big moment, live
Yeah.
action, man. This One Piece will determine a lot. And again, a lot of people have already made reviews, a lot of people have already seen it, but
Yeah.
it's gonna determine a lot for other animes, and they've already greenlit Naruto live action, which is
Yeah.
wild.
Which is
They're showing
wild.
all that shit.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, but um, this is it. This is gonna
Hmm.
be a big staple.
Yeah.
So
But all right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment below.
yeah, mm,
We appreciate it. We're at like 125 followers right now. We appreciate
yes,
every single
sir.
one of you guys.
Every
We
single one of
we
y'all.
appreciate the support here at the beginning of the
Yes, sir.
journey.
We are
Um,
grinding, man.
yeah,
We've been, we've been trying to keep content consistent.
yeah,
We've at least been getting the episodes out weekly, but
Yeah.
Again, we're gonna try to amp up the midweek videos,
Yeah, and you know what,
uh,
guys? If we're not for you,
reaction videos, everything.
there's a lot of other content out there. Go consume, man.
Anime.
There's a lot of anime podcasts starting up that are kind of at our level right now in that first six
Yeah.
month stretch. And go
Wild.
support. That's all I'm saying
Yeah.
is support. There's enough room for everybody to thrive. So if it's not us, go watch someone else and make sure you find what works for you. All
Well, and
right.
comment what you guys want us to cover too. I
Yeah.
think that's a big one. Is
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
also like comment what you guys want us to do on side videos, podcast videos, reviews,
Yep.
uh fucking verses videos, anything, man.
Yeah,
We want to
absolutely.
be all up in this shit.
Yeah, he wants to be all up in your shit.
No, we want to be all up
Yeah,
in
he
this
wants
shit.
to be all up in your shit.
No, we want to be all
He,
up in this
your
shit.
shit.
All right, I'm done. Fuck you.
All right, guys. Comedy Hashira. I'm out.
Blacky Chan. We out.